Thank you so much, Dr. Young. It's a pleasure having you here and giving us an update on the 442 days that we've been through this. So you mentioned lessons learned. Like, what is a key lesson that you learned through all this?
Well, in the introduction, leadership was mentioned. And so one of the best things that I have learned about our team and about myself is that you should always lead from the front. And so there was never a battle that I would send the troops into without going in myself. That's why it was so important to me to go to every testing event that I possibly could. Now, sometimes there's 8 in one day, you can't be all eight places. But to show the team that it not only matters, but it matters to you and to support them. And one of the things going out into the communities with working with our partners, we cross-trained so everyone would have strengths, and then we could all support each other when we did our COVID response.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, last week we got this news from the CDC, masks off. Like, what was your reaction to that?
It was mixed, honestly. Okay. I think I feel like it's a comfort blanket for me personally, because I've worn one for so long. But from the medical perspective, this is a great tool to encourage people to get vaccinated, but I want people to take the advice very cautiously, because we can wear a mask if we've been vaccinated, but you have to hear that other piece. If you have been fully vaccinated.
If you have been fully.
Yes, and so for the 2 vaccines, the Pfizer and Moderna is 2 doses, and you're not fully protected until 2 weeks after you receive those doses. So if you haven't received your vaccine yet, now's the time to do it so that you can be fully protected. That's not only going to protect you, but it's a responsibility to help protect your family and to protect others who can't get the vaccine. And so while it is the advice from the CDC that we can go without masks if we are fully vaccinated, we still need to be careful, especially in clinical settings and other settings where people may not be vaccinated, and we really want to watch for those numbers as we start to travel again this summer.
Yes. So where are we now in terms of the percentage of people in our county who are vaccinated? Do you know that right off?
Yes, I do. So we're at about 47% fully vaccinated, and for the first dose or half vaccinated is at about 57%.
Okay, we're getting there.
We're getting
there.
Yeah.
Are there any, let's see, if there are no questions, if you have a question for Dr. Young, and you're on Zoom, please put it in the chat and we'll ask her directly for you. So what should be our role as a community foundation now that we're getting into the recovery phase? What should be our role?
Well, the foundation has done so much to support us, and so I thank you for that, Dr. Foster, you and the board and the foundation. As we get into our next phase, it's kind of a recovery phase. And so there's so many things that we need to work on. Homelessness, HIV, we need to work on the opioid addiction, getting into communities to make sure that kids have lost a year of school.
Yeah.
Kids have lost a year of sports. So have adults. We just need to recondition. We need to recondition mentally and physically, and we need to support each other as a community.
So how you mentioned the opioid epidemic. So have we kind of lost sight of what's going on with that epidemic?
We never lost sight of it.
Okay.
The response had to be changed. And so when things are in lockdown, when disease is ramped up and we were getting 200 in some cases a day at one point, we have staff that have had 1, 2, 3 days off in 442 days.
Wow.
And so it's never that it went to being unimportant, it's that the response had to change. Because we work so closely with 911 and the Sheriff's Office, and because we work so closely with the Ambulance Authority and Charleston Fire, we knew that the overdose rates typically went up just days after after the relief checks would come.
Wow.
And so we could predict trends and try to plan for them, but some of the things that we were just beyond our control. But we had a response, our finger was on the pulse, we just couldn't react in the way that we wanted to.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Young. It was a pleasure getting a live and direct update from ours are in Kanawha County, our COVIDs are. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dr.
And
Preston.
thanks everyone for joining us today for our virtual annual report to the community. It is our pleasure to serve as your community foundation, and we wish you and your family all the best in the year to come. And prayerfully, we'll see you live next year when we will be celebrating our 60th year in existence. Thank you so much.